What's happening, guys? Dan Debenham here. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about that 90s drop shadow effect that everybody used to put on to everything. Basically, every poster had a drop shadow on it. But if you do need to do a drop shadow, there are good ways and bad ways of doing it. You can always just bang a drop shadow straight on through Photoshop, which is no problem, which is what we're going to be looking at today. Or you can do it in a little bit more intricate way, which gives it a little bit more realistic feel, gives your drop shadow slightly more detail, makes it look slightly more poppy. And that's what I'm going to show you today. It's very quick, so shouldn't be a very long tutorial. Let's get in it and let's have a look at it. Okay, so we've got our text in, we've got our background done. What we're going to do now is we're going to add a drop shadow. So we're going to go to Effect, and then we're going to go to Drop Shadow. Here it will drop us in a drop shadow. As you can see from there, it looks okay. There's nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly fine. But the way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to make sure that global light is turned on. And the reason we put global light on is because we want all the drop shadows that we're going to add. So we're going to add multiple drop shadows to this. We want them all to follow the same light source. If you uncheck global light, each individual drop shadow we would put on, they will then follow their own light source and their own direction. We want them to all be the same. So we keep global light changed to selected, and then we make our angle what we want. In my case, I like it at 69%. And in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to alter the distance of it to some degree. So say 38. I'm going to alter the spread. So I want it to be a little bit spread, and I'm also going to alter the size. I'm going to make it fairly blurred. So as you can see now, what we've got is we've got a drop shadow that looks like that. And I'm going to go here and I'm going to click this little plus arrow, and that gives me another drop shadow, which you can see it's gone darker. But in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to alter the distance, I'm going to alter the spread, and I'm going to alter the size. And as you can see, what we're getting now is we're getting a better drop shadow. And this works in a way that the top selection that you're making, that is the one that you're actually working on. So that's the bottom shadow to the next one up, the next one up. The closer up the top you get, the closer to this actual text you are. So basically, the closer to the text you are, it's layering them up one after the other, effectively. So that will then make your drop shadows layered from your blurredest, the most blurred on the screen here, to the most crisp version, and then eventually your text. And in this case, we're going to use about 3 or 4 drop shadows to create that sort of realistic looking effect. So while we're here, what we'll do is we'll just make sure that the size is exactly what we want it to be, and that we can start to see the text coming in. So we can start to see that text coming in. We'll grab another one and we'll bring the distance in a little bit further. So we'll say distance there, we'll make the spread a little bit less, and we'll make the size a little bit less. And then again, we'll add another one, and on this one we'll bring the text right in, so the distance right in, spread right in, and the size right in. So basically what we've got is this sort of affair. And again, we can either click on here and you can drag the whole thing about, so you can see what your drop shadow is doing and how it's working. And we'll just put that back to where it is. We'll make that there like that. 69. And then you can also do it from here as well. You can change the angle of it from up here, obviously, as you see fit. If you want to do that, it will then alter those angles for you without any problems at all. In our case, we've got 69, which is what I'm going to use. I'm going to go here to this, and I'm going to drop the opacity slightly, and I'm going to drop the opacity slightly on this one. Distance there, down slightly. We can see part of it. Opacity down here, and maybe this one. Let's have the opacity down to maybe. Maybe 20. This one is have the opacity maybe 25. And this one, let's go with 30. And then this one, let's have the opacity up a little bit to maybe 27. And then we click OK, and job's done. As you can see, we've got a lovely drop shadow here. You can see that it looks nice and realistic. It's got some drop off, it's got some clarity to it, and it makes it look a little bit more realistic. As you can see, it was very quick and very simple to do. It's just a new feature within Photoshop to be able to add more layers to your drop shadow, and it does make it look a little bit more detailed. And if I do have to use drop shadow, I don't rarely use one, to be fair. But if I do, that is the way that I do it, because it has that bit more detail, a bit more realism, and it is adjustable, so you can adjust different parts of it, and you can make it look your own, basically. So if you did like this tutorial and you did think it was useful, please do like and subscribe below, and I will, of course, as always, see your smiling faces next time.